You've been told how life is supposed to be lived. Go to school, get a job, work hard, retire. That's the script society hands you before you even have a chance to write your own story. But what if that script isn't yours? What if the life you're meant to live doesn't fit inside the box they built for you? Rules are not always made to protect you. Some rules are made to keep you in place, to maintain a system that benefits from your silence, your obedience, and your fear of doing things differently. The truth is, every great change in history happened because someone dared to break the rules. Someone dared to look at the way things were and say, you don't have to follow the path they've laid out if it doesn't lead to where your heart wants to go. Some rules are nothing more than old ideas dressed as truth, beliefs passed down by people who never questioned them. But you were born to question, to challenge, to create something new. When you rewrite the rules, you take back the pen that has been in someone else's hand for too long. You stop letting others tell your story and start living it for yourself. The world will try to convince you that you're not ready, that you're not capable, that you need to wait for permission. But you don't. You never did. The people who achieve greatness are not always the most talented or the most gifted. They are simply the ones who decided to stop following the rules that held them back. You can rewrite the rules of what success means to you. It doesn't have to be about titles, money, or status. Success can mean freedom, joy, peace, impact. Whatever makes your soul feel alive. Sometimes rewriting the rules means letting go of what you were taught, even if it means disappointing those who expect you to live a certain way. The hardest part of rewriting the rules is believing you are allowed to. Because once you believe it, nothing can stop you. You have already lived through moments when following the rules didn't work out the way you hoped. So why keep living by a system that's not built for your dreams? When you rewrite the rules, you open doors that others can't even see. You create opportunities that don't exist for those who only walk the well-worn path. People will say you're unrealistic. They'll say you're reckless. But remember, realistic people don't change the world. Dreamers do. Rewriting the rules is not about breaking laws. It's about breaking limits. The limits you've placed on yourself and the ones others have placed on you. It takes courage to step off the path and make your own. It takes strength to stand in a crowd and go in the opposite direction. But that's how legends are made. The rules you follow will shape the life you live. If you follow rules built by fear, you will live a small life. If you build rules based on courage, you will live an extraordinary one. You don't have to wait until you have it all together to rewrite your rules. You can start messy, you can start scared. The point is to start. There is no single way to live a meaningful life. That's the beauty of rewriting the rules. You can design it to fit you, not the other way around. Every time you rewrite the rules, you give someone else the courage to do the same. You become proof that there is another way. Your dreams may require you to unlearn things you were told since childhood. That's okay. Growth often means replacing old truths with new ones. Some of the greatest breakthroughs in history came from people who were told, you can't do that. They didn't listen. Neither should you. Rewriting the rules means saying yes to yourself more often. Yes to your ideas, your goals, your passions, even if others don't understand them. It also means saying no to the things that drain you. No to living for other people's approval. No to paths that lead nowhere. When you take control of your own rules, you stop living by default and start living by design. And that changes everything. The old rules will always be there, but so will your power to choose. And your choices will determine whether you live an ordinary life or an extraordinary one. Rewriting the rules is not a one-time act. It's a way of life. You will keep evolving, keep reshaping, keep daring to do things differently. One day people will look at your life and say, they didn't follow the rules, but they built something incredible. So take the pen back. Tear up the script they gave you. Write your own. Live by it. And let the world see what happens when someone decides to rewrite the rules. There comes a point when you realize the life you've been told to live is not the life you were meant for. You feel it in your chest. A quiet rebellion that says, I want more than this. I am more than this. I am more than this. That feeling is your truth trying to break free. Rules are not permanent. They are ideas that someone once created, and over time people started treating them as law. But if they were made by people, they can be changed by people. And you are one of those people. Rewriting the rules is about looking at the limits you've accepted and deciding they are no longer welcome in your life. It's about tearing down the invisible walls and building something stronger in their place. You have to understand, most rules are designed to make life easier for those who already have power. They are not always designed to help you grow. That's why you have to be willing to challenge them. When you choose to live differently, you will make people uncomfortable. Not because you're wrong, but because your courage will expose their fear. It's not about being rebellious for the sake of rebellion. It's about being truthful to yourself. It's about asking, is this really the way I want to live? And being brave enough to answer honestly. Some rules are disguised as a tradition, but tradition without purpose is just a chain disguised as culture. It's okay to honor the past while still building a future that's your own. When you follow the same rules as everyone else, you end up with the same results as everyone else. You end up with the same results as everyone else. If you want something extraordinary, you have to be willing to do something different. Your life is your responsibility. If the rules you're following aren't leading you to the life you want, you owe it to yourself to change them. Rewriting the rules doesn't mean disrespecting the old ways. It means improving them, refining them, and making them fit who you are now. The most dangerous thing you can do is accept someone else's definition of what is possible for you. Only you know the limits of your potential, and chances are they're far beyond what others can see. Every system, every industry, every tradition that exists today was once an idea. Someone made it up. That means you can make up your own. Rewriting the rules is not just about freedom. It's about ownership. Ownership of your time, your choices, your values, and your future. The rules that work for them may not work for you, and that's okay. Your life is not supposed to be a copy of someone else's story. When you start living by your own rules, people will question you. But eventually, they'll respect you. Because deep down, everyone wants the courage to do the same. If you feel like you've been walking down the wrong road, you don't have to keep going. You can stop. You can turn around. You can choose a new direction right now. The day you decide to stop waiting for permission is the day your life truly begins. Some rules are written in books. Others are written in your mind. The mental rules, the ones you've been carrying since childhood, are often the hardest to break. But once you do, everything changes. Rewriting the rules is not about rejecting wisdom. It's about rejecting limits that no longer serve you. There's nothing wrong with breaking patterns that no longer feel right. Growth means outgrowing old ways of thinking. Your dreams don't need to fit within the boundaries someone else created. In fact, the most powerful dreams are the ones that redraw the boundaries entirely. The biggest risk in life is not rewriting the rules. It's living your whole life by someone else's and wondering a what if when it's too late. When it's too late. Every time you rewrite a rule, you open the door for others to do the same. Your courage is contagious. The most important rule you can write for yourself is this: I will not shrink to fit. I will expand to belong. When you step into your own power, you stop playing the game by their terms. You start playing by your own, and that's when you win. Rewriting the rules requires patience. People may not understand at first. That's fine. You're not living for their understanding. You're living for your purpose. The world changes when enough people decide to live authentically instead of obediently. Be one of those people. You have a choice right now. Live the rest of your life according to a script you didn't write, or pick up the pen and start your own chapter. When you rewrite the rules, you stop asking, is this possible? And start asking, how can I make it happen? That's when everything changes. There comes a point in life when you realize you've been living inside a script you didn't write. From the moment you were born, the world handed you a set of instructions. Go to school, get good grades, find a stable job, work hard, save for retirement, and hope you have time left to enjoy it. But deep inside, you feel something is off, like you're playing a role in someone else's movie. That quiet frustration is not a sign of failure. It's the sign that you are ready for more. It's your inner voice telling you it's time to take the pen back and start writing your own story. Rules are not absolute truths. They are simply agreements society made at one point in time, often created to serve the needs of the people who made them, not the people who have to follow them. The road you were told is a safe might actually be the one that traps you. The right way to live may only be right for those who designed it. When you realize this, you begin to see that the rules can be rewritten. Not recklessly, but intentionally. so they reflect the life you truly want instead of the one you were told to want. Rewriting the rules starts with courage to question everything. Why do I believe I can't change careers after a certain age? Who said success must look like a big salary in a corner office? Why must I wait until I'm ready to chase my dream? Well, the moment you start asking questions like these, you begin to break the invisible chains that have been holding you. And once those chains are gone, you're no longer living life on autopilot. You're living life on purpose. The world loves to tell you to be realistic. But realistic for who? For who? Realistic for the person who's afraid to take risks? Realistic for the person who settled for less because it was easier? The truth is, the world has changed not by people who played it safe, but by people who dared to imagine something better. Every invention, every movement, every leap forward in history came from someone who decided that the rules didn't apply to their vision. If they hadn't broken those rules, we would still be living in the past. When you live by someone else's rules, you might gain their approval, but you will lose yourself. You might fit in, but you won't stand out. You might be accepted, but you won't feel alive. Following the rules will give you security, but rewriting the rules will give you freedom. Freedom. And when you have freedom, you open the door to joy, creativity, and meaning in a way that playing by the book never will. Some people will misunderstand you when you start rewriting the rules. You will say you've changed, and they'll be right. You have changed. You've stopped settling for the life they think you should live, and you started building the one you actually want. They might call you reckless, but they're really just afraid. Afraid that if you succeed, they'll have to face the fact that they could have lived differently, too. Rewriting the rules is not about breaking everything apart without reason. It's about building something better. It's about replacing you can't with a how can I. It's about replacing a that's just the way it is with a there's a better way, and I will find it. It's about looking at the path everyone else is walking and realizing you have the right to take another road, even if it's harder, even if it's lonely, even if no one understands why you're doing it. The rules you've been living by were often given to you before you were old enough to choose them. You inherited them from your parents, your teachers, your culture, and your environment. They shaped your thinking before you ever realized you had a choice. But now you do have a choice. You can keep them, you can modify them, or you can throw them away entirely. And in that moment of choice, you reclaim your life. There is nothing selfish about wanting a life that feels right for you. Too often, we confuse self-care with selfishness and ambition with arrogance. But the truth is, living a life that makes you happy will inspire others to do the same. You are not taking away from the world when you rewrite the rules. You are adding to it. You are proving that there is another way to live, one that doesn't sacrifice your soul just to meet someone else's expectations. History remembers those who dared to challenge the old rules. Every social movement, every innovation, every leap forward began with a person who said, "This isn't working. We can do better." Rosa Parks didn't follow the rules when she sat at the front of the bus. Steve Jobs didn't follow the rules when he dreamed of a computer for every home. Rules keep the world stable, but breaking them, wisely, boldly, is what moves it forward. When you start living by your own rules, you will lose some people. That's inevitable. But the ones you lose are making space for the ones who are meant to walk with you on your new path. You will find people who don't just accept your rules, they celebrate them. And together, you'll create a community that thrives on freedom, creativity, and authenticity. Most people will never even try to rewrite the rules. They will live their entire lives playing a game they didn't choose, hoping that maybe if they win, they'll finally be happy. But happiness isn't found in winning the wrong game. It's found in creating the game you actually want to play. To play. The rules that worked for one generation may not work for the next. The world is different now, and so are the opportunities. What was once impossible is now a click away. If the rules don't evolve, they become a cage. And cages, no matter how comfortable, are still prisons. When you change the rules, you give yourself permission to try things you were once told were not for you. Maybe that's starting a business, traveling the world, pursuing art, or living in a way that doesn't fit the standard definition of success. Whatever it is, you are proving that you are not here to fit in. You are here to live fully. You don't have to burn down the entire system to make a change. Sometimes rewriting the rules means making small shifts every day until one day your life looks nothing like it used to, and everything like the life you always wanted. Fear will always show up when you challenge the rules. It will whisper, "Or what if you fail? What if people laugh? What if it doesn't work?" But fear is not a stop sign. It's a compass pointing you toward the place where you will grow the most. There's a reason your dreams don't fit neatly inside the rules you were given. It's because those rules were never designed for dreams like yours, They were designed for safety, for predictability, for keeping things the same. But your dream is bigger than that, and it deserves rules that match its size. The moment you realize you can make your own rules, you become unstoppable. No longer are you confined to the limits others placed on you. You see the world differently, as a place full of possibilities instead of a set of restrictions. Living by your own rules doesn't mean life will be easy. It might be harder at first, because you'll be walking through uncharted territory. But it will be worth it, because every step will be yours. Every victory will be yours. Every failure will be yours. And from those failures, you will learn how to build something no one can take away. If you want to inspire others, don't just tell them to be brave. Show them what it looks like. Let them see you rewrite the rules in real time. Let them watch you take risks, face fear, and grow into the person you were meant to be. You cannot rewrite the rules if you keep waiting for the perfect time. There is no perfect time. There is only now. Messy, uncertain, uncomfortable now. But now is enough. Now is enough. Now is all you need to begin. The world doesn't reward people for following every rule. It rewards those who create something new. If you want to stand out, you have to stop blending in. The rules are just the starting point. They are not the limit of what's possible. Every day you get to decide how much of the game you want to play and how much you want to rewrite. Rewriting the rules is not an act of rebellion against others. It's an act of loyalty to yourself. You owe it to yourself to see what life looks like when you are the one in control. Don't wait for others to understand before you act. Most people won't understand until they see the results. Let your life be the proof that rewriting the rules works. The rules will always be there for those who want them, but for you, for the one who knows deep down that you are made for something more. It's time to let them go. It's time to live the life you've been imagining. If you want, I can make all previous rewrite the rules paragraphs plus these expanded ones into one huge, polished, YouTube-ready script with pacing notes, emotional peaks, and storytelling transitions so it flows like a professional motivational speech. That would make it instantly ready to record.